Hello, my name is Karen, if you haven't practiced with me before, and this morning we're going to do a session to wake up the body. So if you're like me and you get up in the morning and everything feels just stiff and you feel like you're about 105 years old, this is going to help get everything moving. Alright, so we're going to start by sitting up nice and tall, spine nice and long, relax those shoulders. Now props aren't necessary for this class, but maybe you find the use for a block or maybe a strap. It's always good to have to hand, but not essential. All right, so let's find that little bit of peace before we start. So closing the eyes. Make sure you are sitting up nice and tall and the shoulders are drawn away from the ears. Relax that face. So unclench that jaw, noticing how you feel. How does the body feel? And then noticing how the mind is doing this morning. How busy is it in your head? And it's okay for everything to be busy. But we really need to be able to calm all that down whenever we feel it's necessary. So let's see if we can do just that right now. So begin now to notice your breath. Noticing your natural flow of breath. So don't change anything just yet. Just notice the natural tide of breath. And let's now see if we can start to deepen that breath. So close down the mouth and begin to take some deeper breaths in and out through the nose. And try and send that breath, that inhale, all the way down into the belly. Keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed. Maybe you can find your yogic breathing where you feel that breath in the belly, in the chest, and then up into the collarbones if you're breathing deeply enough. We're taking it nice and slow. And if that mind is still wandering, just bring it back to the breath as many times as you need. Just a couple more. Nice. Now bringing that breathing back to normal. I'm going to blink open our eyes. And we're going to start to find that mobilisation in all the major joints of the body. So we'll start at the top with the neck. So let that head just drop to one side. Make sure those shoulders are drawn away. Take a big breath. Always noticing where the sensations are. Take another breath. Nice, and then rolling the chin all the way down into the chest. I'm moving the head all the way over to the other side, nice and slowly, making sure you've not slumped into that spine or the shoulders haven't drawn up on the way. So sit back up straight, draw the shoulders away. Take those big deep breaths. Nice, now rolling the chin all the way down into the chest and tuck it right in. Take a big deep breath here. Then lifting the head, looking all the way up. Take another big breath. and bringing the head back to normal. Take a big breath in as you reach all the way up. As you exhale, you're going to fold to the side, hand plants down and reach over with this top arm. Make sure both bum cheeks stay rooted to the ground. Straighten out this top arm as much as you can, and if you can, look underneath this top arm. Find that tiny little rotation and take a big breath. Nice. Inhale all the way up to the center and then all the way over to the other side. Same rules apply. Keep both bum cheeks down, straighten the top arm, maybe take that little look underneath the armpit. And the most important part, breathe. Nice. Inhaling all the way up to the center. And then exhale, we're going to take a little twist. So bring the opposite hand to knee, fingertips come behind. Inhale as you sit up as tall as you can. And then exhale, see if you can find a bit more twist. So remember, you're twisting here at the torso, not at the neck. Nice. Inhale to the center, reach all the way up. And exhaling to the other side. Inhale to sit up as tall as you can. And exhale to twist. Nice. Inhaling to the center, reach all the way up. And exhale, let yourself just fold all the way down. Let the head just relax. Take a big deep breath. Nice. Okay, we're going to find all fours. So however you get there. So coming onto those hands and knees, make sure your wrists are under your shoulders and your knees are hip distance apart. Just take that little shimmy into those hips. And then we're going to take that cat-cow flow here. So dropping the belly, lifting the head, tailbone tucks up. You're going to take a big breath in here. And as you breathe out, round the back, tuck the chin into the chest and really push the mat away. Inhale, come all the way back up. And exhale, take it all the way back again. One more time, inhale, up we come. And exhale back. Nice, bringing that spine back to neutral. Send out your right arm and your left leg. So find your balance here. And then we're going to crunch the two together. Then send them back out. Crunch it in. Send it out. And in. Send it out. This time, flip up that back foot. Reach around with this hand and see if you can grab a hold. And if you can, kick the foot into the hand. Find that stretch on that shoulder. If you can't reach the foot, don't worry. Nice, then release. Give those hips a little shimmy. And we'll do exactly the same on the other side. Left arm, right leg. Crunch the two together. And out. Bring it in. Out. And in. Send it out, leave it here, and you're going to flip up the back foot. Reaching around, maybe you can grab the foot. If you can, kicking the foot into that hand. So finding the stretch on this left shoulder this time. Take a big breath. Nice. Lower the knees down, lower the hands down. Bring your knees together, tuck the toes, and we're going to sit back onto our heels. So now we're going to stretch into the soles of the feet. So making sure you've got your little toe involved. And how much pressure can you put on these heels? This might be awful. So just take your time. Use the breath. So stretching the soles of the feet is not something that we do very often, but it really makes a difference. Big deep breaths. Just one more. Nice, okay, we're going to flip onto the tops of our feet this time. So tops of the feet come down, sitting back onto those heels. This time we're going to lift the knees to stretch all the tops of our feet. So again, maybe this is just too much. Maybe you could do one at a time. Just find that movement where you can find that stretch on the top of your feet. Take a big breath. Nice. Okay, come back to all fours. And we're going to just pat out the feet. And then lift up those feet, make some circles with the ankles, one way, and then switch direction. Nice. Okay, spreading those fingers nice and wide. We're going to head into our first downward facing dog. So tucking those toes again, send those hips up and back. Nice. Now remember, in your down dog, your legs can have a bend in them. Your heels don't have to be on the floor, but your back does need to be straight. So let the head relax, let the face relax. Notice how the back of the legs feel, how those hamstrings. And then start to paddle out those feet. So lift one heel and then the other, maybe dip a hip. So you're finding just a little bit of organic movement here, whatever feels good. Don't forget that all-important breathing. Nice, and hold it nice and still. See if you can tuck that tailbone up a little bit higher. Notice the back of those legs, the back of those knees. Nice, now bend your knees, look to the top of your mat and start to walk your feet all the way to the top to find your forward fold. So bending the knees so the chest is on the thighs, let the head just relax down. So again, you're finding that deeper stretch in the back of these legs. Head relaxes, face relaxes. Making sure you've not got all the weight in the heels of your feet. So find that sensation of tipping forwards ever so slightly and make the toes do a little bit of work here. And then ever so slowly, you're going to start to roll all the way up to stand. Nice. Okay, big breath in, reaching up. As you exhale, we're going to fold all the way down. Inhale as you lift halfway and exhale to fold. Planting your hands down, stepping back, finding your plank position. So making sure you're all in line. Wrists under shoulders, feet are hip distance apart. Lower the knees to the ground, untuck the toes, and ever so slowly start to bend those elbows and lower that upper body down through your chaturanga. Gently pushing up, finding your baby cobra, so don't overdo it this first time. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears, tuck those elbows in. Tucking the toes, and we're going to head back to downward facing dog. Take a big breath. Nice, bend the knees, look to the top of your mat and step to the top. Finding that halfway lift. So here is where the legs are straight, the back is straight. Fingers are either to the ground, to the shins, or to the thighs, whatever feels best. Take a breath in. Exhale to fold. Inhale to come all the way up to stand. And exhale as you fold all the way back down again. Inhaling to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Plant those hands, step to find your plank. This time it's up to you whether you put those knees down or not. So lowering all the way to the ground through your chaturanga. Untuck those toes, pushing up, finding that cobra. So moving those shoulders away from the ears. Maybe find that sensation of squeezing the shoulder blades together just a little bit, not too much. Let the hips drop. Tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog. Take a breath. Bend the knees, look to the top of your mat and step or jump to the top. Halfway lift, big breath in. Exhale to fold. Inhale as you come all the way up. And last time, all the way back down. Inhaling halfway. Exhale to fold. Hands plank down, step back, find your plank. This time, maybe see if you can lower halfway down. Let's see how that upper body strength is doing. Untuck those toes. Find your upward facing dog. So here's where you're pushing into the ground with the tops of your feet and you're lifting the thighs off the ground. Nice. Rolling back now, finding your downward facing dog. Take a big breath. Bending the knees, look to the top, step or jump to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and fold. Inhale all the way up to the stand and exhale. Nice, so you should be nice and warm. Heart rate up just a little bit. So maybe take a little drink if you want one now, and then we will get cracking, getting everything moving a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to start with, when you're ready, big breath in and folding all the way back down again. Inhale to that halfway lift. How are the back of those legs doing now? And exhaling to fold. Plant your hands down on the ground and step to find your downward facing dog. So again, noticing how the legs are doing. Let's lift up that right leg. Three-legged dog, and then opening up this hip, so bend the knee so the foot comes to the opposite bum cheek and you're stacking the shoulders, not the shoulders, the hips, one above the other. And then looking underneath this right armpit again, find that stretch. Take a big breath. Nice, and then straightening that leg up, and we're going to bring that foot all the way through to find our runner's lunge. So, foot in between the hands. Check that this front knee is right over the ankle. So if you haven't landed right, doesn't matter. Just make the adjustments that you need. So back leg nice and straight and strong, and you're on the tippy toes of that back foot. Okay, find your balance now, because lunging is balancing. So let go of the ground, and we're going to come all the way up to our high lunge, making sure this front knee and ankle are still in line. Back leg is straight. Back leg is strong. You're on the tiptoes of that back foot. Take a breath. Okay, now we're going to head into our warrior two. Anchor your back foot down and open up the arms. So again, notice this knee. This time you're going to turn that knee out a little bit so you've got the stretch on your inner thigh. Arms at shoulder level, gaze across the middle finger of that front hand. Take a big breath. Nice, then we're going to reverse our warrior. So take this left hand down this back leg, lifting this right arm up, keeping that lunge in that front knee, don't move the legs. Take a breath. Nice, extended side angle is our next pose. So either elbow to knee, sending this left arm overhead, nice and straight and strong. You may feel you've got a bit more to give in this one, so you may be able to bring the hand down to the ground. Now, if you find here that your chest is starting to turn down, you've gone too far. So either start to pull this shoulder back or come back up, or maybe use a block. So a block under the hand takes you somewhere in between. So finding this extended side angle, finding your breath. Nice, and then we're going to reverse our warrior again. So using the power in the legs, lift and switch those arms. Keep the lunge. Nice, going to find triangle. So straighten the front leg and then tip these arms again. Right arm down, left arm up. Stacking the shoulders, one above the other. Maybe hovering this hand off the ground just to find a little bit of core work. Maybe you can look up, but can you breathe? That's the important bit. Okay, let's try a morning balance. So now we're going to place this right hand down on the ground, or again, a block if you've got one. Right hand comes down, you're going to float this back leg up, left arm reaches up. Find your breath. Now with your half moon, looking down at the ground will help you balance. If you want to challenge your balance, start to turn the head, look to the side. And even more of a challenge, look up. Nice, but breathe, breathe, breathe. Nice, bringing this left hand down, turning the chest down so you've got this warrior three kind of variation with the hands down. And we're going to step back to find our plank. You're going to lower through your chaturanga, so knees down or no knees down, it's up to you. Lifting up, finding your cobra or your up dog. And then tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a big breath, and then we'll do all of that on the other side. So take another breath in your downward facing dog. And then let's lift up that left leg this time. And open up the hip, bend the knee. Hips stacked. Look underneath your left armpit. Find that stretch. Nice, straighten that leg back up. Bringing it all the way through for your runner's lunge. So foot comes in between the hands. You may want to step that back foot back a little bit. Check that you've landed right. Check this knee and ankle are in line. Nice, strong back leg. And then find your balance as we come up to our high lunge. Take a breath. And then head into warrior two. Back foot anchors down, arms open out wide. So shoulder level, shoulders over the hips, so don't lean forward, stay central. Turn out this front knee. And then let's reverse it. Right hand drops down this back leg, left arm up, find the breath. Always an easy one to hold your breath in, this one, so do try. Concentrate on the breathing. Okay, extended side angle, so again, either elbow to the knee, or hand to the ground, or using that block, bringing yourself somewhere in between. Keeping the chest open, keep this right shoulder back. Right arm nice and long. Going to reverse that warrior again, so using this power in those legs to push up. Right arm down the back leg, left arm up. And then finding triangle, straighten out this front leg. Tip this left arm down, right arm high. Maybe looking up. Take a breath. Finding that balance on this side, so left hand comes down, just ahead of this left foot, float that back leg up. Remember, looking at the ground will help. And when you're balancing, you've got to find that drishti point, that focus point, and you've got to find your breath. Nice, bringing the hands down. Turning the chest to the ground, finding that warrior three variation. Stepping back, find your plank. Take your chaturanga, whatever version you like. Up dog or cobra. And then you're heading back to your downward facing dog again. Take a big breath. Noticing how are you feeling now? How's that body doing? Nice. Okay, bending those knees, looking to the top of your mat and step to the top. Make sure those feet are together, those legs are together, bend the knees, sweep the arms low, bring them high to find your chair pose. So make sure, look down, make sure you can see all your toes. Send that bottom back if you can't. And you're sitting in this imaginary chair, so start to feel heat building in these thighs. Nice, now bringing the palms together. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to twist to the right. So you're going to hook your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. So here, make sure those legs are strong because you're pushing the legs against the arm against the legs, and find that twist. So maybe those palms come to the midline of the chest. Maybe they don't. Try and keep that spine nice and long. Nice, coming back to the center, sweep the arms back up. You're still in this chair. Then palms together again. Take another big breath in. And this time exhale, twist left. Hooking your right elbow on the outside of that left knee. And again, spine long. Nice, coming back to chair pose. Sweep the arms up and then sweep them behind you, squeezing your triceps together. Bring the arms back up again. This time step back with your left leg to find your warrior one. So back foot is anchored again. Front knee over that front ankle. Torso faces the front this time. And see if you can find that sensation of drawing this back hip around. Take a breath. Nice, now cactus the arms. So open up that chest, take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, reach up. And again, inhale. Exhale, reach. And again, inhale. And reach up. Nice, going to bring these hands down to the ground, straighten out this front leg. Stepping this back foot in, so shortening that stance, we're finding pyramid. So both feet to face the front. Inhale to lengthen that spine. And exhale to fold. So in your pyramid, ideally your legs will be nice and straight. Again, if your hamstrings are really tight, maybe use a couple of blocks or a couple of big chunky books to help you out. Hips facing front, so gently pulling back here with that right hip and forwards with that left. Take a nice big breath. Nice. Lifting up halfway. Step that back foot all the way back. Find that runner's lunge again. Plant your left hand down, sweep your right arm up. Nice, bring the hand down. Step back to find your downward facing dog. Paddling out those feet, maybe dipping those hips. Whatever feels good right now. Nice, let's step forwards with your left leg. Let's find that warrior one on the left side. So back foot anchors down again. Draw this right hip around. If you feel like you can't move that hip around, if it feels quite stiff, step this back foot just a little bit wider. So remember in yoga, it's not about how you look, it's how you feel. So if making those little slight tweaks helps you feel better, then just do it. Everybody's body is different. Take a big breath. And cactus those arms, draw those shoulders together. And breathe out as you reach up. Inhale down. Exhale up. And inhale. Exhale. Lovely, hands down. Let's find that pyramid on this left side. So step that back foot in. So shortening that stance. Feet both feet facing the same direction, legs nice and straight. Inhale to lengthen that spine and exhale to fold. So if you've got particularly tight hamstrings, this one can be quite intense. So you may need that little bend, you may need help from blocks or books. Just do whatever works for you, whatever feels the best. Take a nice big breath. Nice, and then we're going to step back to that downward facing dog. You're going to paddle out those feet, you're going to dip those hips. You're going to take a big breath. Nice, and hold it still. Tailbone tucks a little bit higher. One more breath. And then from our down dog, we're going to find our yogi squat, our malasana. So walking your feet to the width of your mat. So heels on, toes off. Maybe your hands need to be down on the ground. Maybe your heels are off the ground. Maybe this is just too much. If it is, maybe sit on a cushion, taking the knees nice and wide. So again, whatever works for you. If your hips, inner hips are really tight, this is going to be tough, okay? So just do whatever works for you. Take a few deep breaths here though. Trying not to slump into this, so try and find that little lift in that mula bandha, that pelvic floor. Okay, now you have the option to just stay exactly where you are, or left hand down on the inside of this left foot. Push the leg and the arm together, so it's locked together. And then see if you can sweep this right arm up. We're kind of getting into that thoracic spine area and finding that rotation, which is crucial. Nice, bringing that hand down. I'm going to switch sides. So locking it in, left arm sweeps up. Nice, hands down. Bring one hand in front, one hand behind, sitting the bottom down. Oh, and then soles of the feet together. Finding your bound angle, your Baddha Konasana. So give those knees a little bounce. And then holding it nice and still, take a big breath. Nice, and we're going to move our feet a little bit further away, so you're creating that diamond shape between your legs. Grab those feet again, take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to pull the body forwards. Find that rounding in that upper back, so separating those shoulder blades, find a stretch across that upper back. Nice, okay, slowly coming all the way up. Let's take our seated straddle pose, so send the legs out. So remember, you're finding your point of resistance, so where is that? Don't go too far. Remember, in yoga, you should feel it, but you shouldn't want to cry. Okay, so find the point that works for you. We're going to take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, folding forwards. Again, finding your point. Using the breath here. So those inhales make all the space in the body, and that exhale should allow you to settle into that space a little bit more. So really working with the breath here. Nice, okay, slowly sitting yourself up. And then turn to face this left leg, and you're going to fold over this left side. Try and keep this right hip down though. Don't let that right hip lift up. Nice, and now we're going to crawl our way all the way around to fold over this right leg. This time keeping that left hip down. Nice, okay, come all the way back to the center. Take one more deep breath here. And then slowly start to sit yourself all the way up. And then slowly draw those knees in, taking your feet to kind of the width of your mat, and then leaning back on the hands and just windshield wiper those knees one side to the other. Nice. And then crossing the legs, sitting yourself up nice and tall. Take a big breath in, reach up, palms come together. And as you exhale, draw the palms down to the chest. And again, inhale up. And exhale. One more inhale, come up. Exhale. Okay, keeping these palms at heart center. Take a big breath in through the nose. And let it all go through the mouth. Bringing the hands up to the third eye, to the forehead. Take that little smile as you bow your head to your heart. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Have a great day.